Save us!
We suffer!
Save us!
We are dying.
Save us!
We walk in confusion.
Save us!
We are blinded by fear!
Save us! Save us!
My people, my children, I cannot sleep. I close my eyes, and the multitudes of the suffering close around me in the dark. So I have come out to meet you alone. Speak to me. Tell me of your woe.
Oh, King, we are frightened.
We have done all we can, sacrificed and prayed, atoned for what sins we know. Even now, hordes of the lost kneel at temples across the city, blinded by the smoke of our own pyres.
We cling to the altars like sailors to splinters from a wreck. Hands empty, we reach towards nothingness. We are suppliants to the silence that lies beyond us.
We beg without knowledge of what is killing us. Beg until our voices close in raw silence. But still,
The plague stalks us, ravaging the city.
And death is everywhere.
The bodies of men, women, and children lie like lumber, hastily stacked for burning.
Every day, more die, faster than we have time to mourn them.
And still the pestilence swings wide and blind.
all the animals are downed and rotting, their legs rigid, their eyes open and lightless.
In our fields the crops curl, heads stop to the gray earth. Every wren rattles their black stalks.
Mothers in agony,
Their corpses, and after their labors they hear only silence,
and look
upon the curled stones
they have delivered in pain.
This is what I feared. This is what I knew.
O King, you are the greatest of men. You are the one who saved us.
It was you who answered, "It is mad," to the Sphinx.
And saved us from her. We remember how it was before you came to us.
Still hear her terrible scream of prey as she fell upon us one by one.
It was you.
The stranger.
Who brought us out of the darkness of that terrible time and brought us into the light. It was your courage. It was
Your brilliant mind.
That shattered stone for the black gate for your captain. We know you now.
We know your strength and power. Speak into the darkness once more.
Free us again.
My children, I see all, and I have already acted. I have sent Creon, my brother-in-law and most trusted statesman, to Delphi to ask the god Apollo what I must do to save my city. Every day that has gone by has been torture, waiting, impatient for action.
Here, we are released from doubt.
He is coming.
And he smiles, look, he smiles.
Good news. Good news. All will be well.
What do you mean? How can that be?
Shall we go inside? You cannot wish to discuss this in the open.
Why not? Anything you have to say affects everyone here. I'm not for secrets.
I had thought to speak to you alone.
No. Say it to us all. I share their suffering. They will share my truth, whatever it is.
All right, if that is how you want it done. Apollo has spoken. He says there is a corruption. Seek it and drive it out.
But we know this. Corruption. We feel it. Does the god give us no more help than this?
It was a murder. A murder long buried in the body of the state. After festering for years, the poison has broken to the surface, and it racks the body. It kills us now.
What murder? When? Who was the killer?
It happened before you came here. Our late King Laius was murdered. It is his killer who must be found. He is the corruption.
But that was years ago. How are these ancient footprints to be traced?
He is here, in Thebes. Apollo said it. What is neglected lies obscure, yet never loses power. Yet whatever is sought can be found. He is here, born of this soil. He stands on it still.
The man lives. He's among us. Tell me of the crime. When did it happen?
It was the time of the Sphinx, a time of riddling, death, and confusion. Laius went out from the city to seek Apollo's voice, just as you have had me do. He never returned, nor did his train of followers.
There were no survivors? No one who saw this?
Only one, a slave. He was so terrified by what he saw that his only wish was to slip away into obscurity and silence.
But he must have been questioned. What did he say?
There was only one thing he could be sure of, that there were many, many killers.
But killers? A killer would never attack a royal train alone, no. No, there must have been real power here in Thebes compelling the crime. The murder of a king is never uncomplicated by larger designs.
There was talk of this at the time, but we were sunk in confusion. It was chaos.
I don't understand you. Your king had been murdered. How could you have let the trail go cold for all these years?
The Sphinx was on us then. We could see no further than her blinding, killing riddle, until you came and delivered us. And then, we were happy to forget.
A killer lives. I will bring him to light, not just for my city, but for myself as well. Arise, my people, and pray. Live in hope. I am here. The hunt is on. Whatever sought can be found.
A monster, unpunished, lives in our midst. We must drive him out.
We will do our work. It has been shown to us.
But oh gods, we are only mortal, and the darkness of our time has overcome us.
Look down upon us.
See the horror and woe while we suffer now.
Pity us, we can only do so much.
Help us. O shining ones, we call to you.
Athena, Artemis,
and Apollo. We beg you, save our city.
She is clutched in the black jaws of our savage time.
Those who still live beseech you. There is a God we cannot honor, though he is in your number.
Ares, god of war.
Ares the ruthless! It is Ares who has visited this plague upon us.
We hear his voice in the roar of the funeral pyres. He screams there.
He is dreadful. The god of war breeds chaos and butchery.
He stokes the fire of madness, fans the flames of brutality.
He plunders peace, lays waste to joy.
The voice of human reason cannot be heard above his howls for blood.
It is Ares who plagues us.
Oh, shining ones, unseat him, pluck him from his throne, and hurl him sprawling through the depth of air, until his scream dies forever.
Ah!
He is accursed!
I hear your prayers, and they move me. But this, I cannot do alone. I need your help. Each of you is the vessels of the history of your city. One of you knows the truth. Who is the murderer? I will not harm the one who speaks. Even he who did this, all he will receive in return for this knowledge is banishment, unharmed. That is all I ask. Where is the murderer? Whoever he is, I curse him. He is the corruption. I speak for Apollo. I speak for my city. I will find him out. Whoever he is, I curse him. And if I unwittingly sheltered this man, however unknowingly, let that curse fall upon me. A king was murdered. I will fight for him. Fight for him as if he were my own father. Nothing can stop me.
O king, might I speak? Your curse has emboldened me.
Speak. What do you know?
I know I was not the murderer. I know I do not know who was. But Apollo does, he must. Why should we not ask the god to reveal the man?
The gods have given me my orders. They need not give anything else.
Might I speak again?
Again and again. I am open to all counsel.
If we cannot speak to the god himself, Might we speak to someone who hears him? I'm thinking of Tiresias, whose eyes were cast in blind by the fires of the divine. She hears the god speaking. Might she be questioned?
I have thought of this, and I have called for her. Called for her twice. I'm not used to being ignored when I command.
Look, King, she comes at last. Though she is mortal, the divine rings in her ear. Her sightless eyes, she stares directly into eternity.
Oh, Tiresias, you alone can untie the dreadful knots of our terrible time. We have heard Apollo, and he has told us, bring the murderers of Laius forward into the light and cast them out. O Tiresias, spare nothing in your city's aid. Do what only you can do. Rescue your city.
It is a curse. To know too much. Why did I forget this? I should never have come.
I asked you humbly for your aid. What do you mean you should not have come?
Let me go home. I will live on. You will live on. Leave the truth unspoken. It would be best.
This is your answer to a desperate city? To clench your teeth against the voice of God within you? God, this silence is an offense to the city that gave you birth. What more can you want from us? Do you want us to kneel? This we do. All of Thebes crouches at your feet now. We beg you. In the name of the gods, tell us what you know. Speak.
You kneel to me in ignorance, but I will not deliver you into knowledge. I will not speak.
You know and will not speak? What hateful arrogance fuels you to refuse such frank supplication? God, speak, damned monster, speak!
I withstood the blaze of God. I can withstand this tantrum. All I say to you, Oedipus, is look to your own heart. Put your own house in order before you try to dismantle another's.
You are speaking to your king. When you insult me, you insult your country. Beware.
I am not your subject, sir, nor any man's. I belong to God. What will happen, will happen. Truth does not need prophets.
All the more reason to speak then. If it doesn't matter what you say, what prevents you from doing your king's bidding? It is guilt that seals your faithless mouth. A king's murder is on your eyeless head. Whether you raised a hand or not, this I now know.
What you know, fool, blood-stained fool, ignorant as an animal of your own crime.
What? You dare slander me? That's outright treason. I could have you murdered for that. Who are you speaking for? Is it Creon?
Blame yourself, if you must blame someone for this. I warned you not to force these words to light.
Spit it out then, creature. Indict yourself and be done with it.
All right then, listen. This is the truth you bully me to utter against my will. You do not know the shame you live in. You are the corruption that has brought a curse down upon your people. Thousands have already died for your ignorance. Yes, the royal hunt is on, but you, sir, are your own prey. You are the man you are hunting.
Say that again.
The murderer you seek is here. He is you.
No, say that.
Designs and deception. My eyes are adjusting to the murk of this high treason. You know nothing of God, and never did. Your only allegiance is to Creon. Only he could have owed you to dispute his grotesque slander. He has always envied me and my power. And you were always his flunky, weren't you? You stood beside him from the first, mouthing what he told you to say. When Thebes teetered in crisis in the dark days of the Sphinx, did you come to the aid of your summary city? No, you two formed a cabal to topple your country entirely with the murder of the king. I was that city's unexpected savior. I alone matched my mind against the mystery, and I did it without any of your hollow sorcery and cant about God. I don't need to disembowel birds and finger their blue guts to do what is right. Oh, king, this is dangerous insolence.
You do not know yourself, Oedipus. Whose son are you? Ask yourself that.
Whose son am I? What do you mean?
Today you will find out. And today you will finally meet the real stranger. Today, he will kill you.
No! Leave my sight and never cross my path again. You are not even worthy of the back of my hand.
I leave your sight forever, King. No, you shall never see me again.
This was not done well. The voice of God has left us in anger. Now is the time for temperance and reverence. Now, more than ever, we need the tender glance of the divine.
That blind schemer knows nothing of God, and never did. We are well rid of her. All you need of the divine is here. The mind of a leader, searching, unencumbered by superstition and fear. My whole life has drawn me to this moment. I will act.
Listen to the running footsteps.
A killer runs.
In his head, the blood is drumming.
Seek him out.
Running, running. He gets nowhere. Desperate, jagged is his flight.
Still the voice of God pursues him.
Seek him out.
Panting up the slopes, he scrambles.
Pressing blood on every rock. And in the aching air, he hears it.
Seek him out.
No one can outrun the voice of God.
Look up, murderer, look up.
The fates are circling.
They've found you.
Soon their shadows will rush cool across your shoulders.
And in an instant, they will fall.
Flicker in silence, they will fall.
Wind and black feathers, they will fall.
They will cut the thread. This is what God said. They will cut the thread. Welcome to the dead.
No one can outrun the voice of God.
Under the white shafts of the holy sun.
We all dodge and run across a broken land.
Under the gaze of God's unblinking eye.
And all that is mortal shall die.
There is no hiding from the fate circling above us.
Every man shall feel the plummeting shadow of his death spread across his back.
For all that is mortal shall die.
I cannot place my faith in prophets, for even the best of them walk beneath that flickering light.
Just as I do. Just as I.
No one cannot trace the hovering shadow.
For all that is mortal shall die.
I have a king, and though he too is mortal, he is great. When he faced that singing terror,
When his brilliance drove her from our land.
then we saw our dreams embodied. Then we saw the best of man. I can't abandon, won't desert him.
Not this king I've come to love.
He's the only hope that's left me.
As the fates hang up above.
There they are, clicking their scissors. 1,
2,
3.
They bide their time.
making slow circles.
And wait for me.
Clicking their scissors.
They flap and climb,
Clicking their scissors.
watching me running.
Riding the currents of timeless time.
Citizens, can it be true? Can Atticus have accused me of such? I can't even say it. Is it possible? This is a kind of nightmare. Nothing could ever be said of me. And from him, my brother, the man I've served loyally all these years.
Lord Creon, our king is distraught. He did strike out, and like a child hit the one who stands closest to him.
He actually said this, that I compelled Tiresias to lie.
He did. We heard him. But we needn't speak for him. He is here.
You, sir, who stands before me, brazen and unbowed. You've taken me in for years, but no longer. It is your king, not your fool, who is looking at you now.
You have judged me without hearing me, sir. This is no justice. I have a right.
What right can a man like you claim in such an hour?
I have a right to know what I'm accused of.
First, tell me of your dead king. Be useful to me in this, if nothing else.
My dead king? You mean Laius? I don't understand.
How long ago was his murder?
You don't need me to tell you that. It's common knowledge. Not long before your crowning.
A dark time. Yours was the hand at the helm, but you had help, even then, from your minister of smoke.
Minister? What do you mean, sir?
The blind one.
Tiresias?
Yes.
She was my trusted aid through evil times.
What a sorry state you were in. First the Sphinx preyed upon you, then the murder of a king, almost more than a country can bear. I am curious. Why was there no inquiry into the crime? Why was no one brought to justice?
But I have told you this already. We could get no answers. All were dead. Or so we thought. Only one survived, and he was so blasted by terror that nothing could be wrung from him. He staggered into the city weeks later, wild with horror, just in time to see you crowned. He went speechless from the shock of all he'd seen.
So many speechless, so many silent, odd, when there is so much to tell. Odd too, your wise woman's silence. She who says she hears the gods had nothing to say. Why was that?
I don't know.
You know, for whom Tiresias has always spoken, for it's not the gods she listens to, it's politics, not God, that murmurs in her ear. And she works for the man who pays him. She works for you. Me. You're the one she spoke for today. She named me a murderer, a killer of a king.
If that is what she said it for her own reasons. I had no hand in it. What would it profit me? I'm serious. I have never wanted kingship with all its troubles and weights of care.
All its power.
I have power enough. Power on my own terms. I have only ever wanted what I have. I have rank through position and blood. I have sway, entrance into any majestic hall that I choose to enter. I am fawned upon, but never held ultimately responsible. I bask in your reflected light, and like the moon, I can be as changeable as I choose. No one relies on me for my steady light or my warmth. It is an easy, comfortable life I live, and I sleep long and soundly. Treason? It is not in my nature. I know what I am. I am content. Do not mistake me for something I am not.
The moon is subtle, untrustworthy, and devious. It dips behind the clouds to plunge the world into darkness. When it sees its moment, I know your tricks.
King, since I stand accused, I accuse you in turn. You have done me 2 injuries. The first is a petty, dreary crime, the crime of slander. You have done me wrong in the eyes of the people, and that matters to me. But your second crime is unforgivable, and one so freighted with honor as a king. You have mistaken a good man for a bad one. I am your friend. I am your kin. I am your ally. None more steadfast, none more true. And this is how you treat me? You should have known me better.
Listen to him, King. In honorable manner speaking, rise above your anger and hear the truth. Nothing is gained by rashness.
If it is rash to act quickly in the moment of inspiration, I have rashness to thank for my every accomplishment. Your city was saved by the speed of my thought.
Quick then, reckless king. What will you do with me? Banish me?
And let you wait out another string of years in darkness until your time comes again? No. No, I know better this time. Death. Oh, quick justice, quick death.
Think, king. Do not race to error. If you must judge me, be judicious. Give evidence, state your case. What have I done?
You are a traitor.
So you say. You are a man.
I am a king.
You are a man. You could be wrong.
I am not.
And if you are...
I am a king, and a king must rule.
Not for long if he rules unwisely.
God, do you hear this, my city?
It is my city too! That you haven't taken from me yet!
Sir, stay your wrath before you break us in two. This is not right.
Ah, but here's order and calm. Let the queen come between you and return you to yourselves.
What is this mad clamor? Is this a time to be shouting in the streets in some petty dispute? When your people are in anguish? Shame on you. Think of who you are! Oedipus, come inside. Brother, leave us.
Sister, your husband here has just condemned me to death.
What?
I did. This man has plotted against my life.
Never! You know me, Jocasta. You know your brother's nature. You saw the dread in my eyes when you were made a widow. Those dark days when I thought the crown would come to me, I never wanted it. This is the truth. You know that, sister. I stand here before my gods, and I swear it. Let me be damned. May the gods destroy me if this is not the truth.
Oh, Oedipus, believe him! For your own sake, for the sake of your people, believe him!
Believe him!
Temper your rage. I have caught this wickedness in my own hand. Why should I loosen my grasp?
Creon has sworn his innocence before the blazing eye of God.
Hear him. He is your kinsman. Yours would be the betrayal.
On your head, the crime.
Let me be clear then. In asking for this, you ask for my own death.
Never by the son of self, never do we wish for that!
O king, remember your city. Thebes is dying, life by life, and this fury between you only sickens us further.
Let him go.
If that is what you want, so be it. I release him. Though it may mean my destruction, I do it for you. Not for him. He has my
You know of mercy. May you never be in need of it. Yours is a terrible nature, brother. I would not have it for the world.
Get out of my sight.
The world knows me, though you do not.
What happened here? My brother has been banished? I have a right to know what could have warranted such disgrace.
I'm your king. He is guilty of high treason. I have been accused here in front of all of murder.
My brother said this?
Oh, he's too smart for that. He sent his soothsayer to do the dirty work.
Tiresias?
Yes. She said I killed Laius.
The prophet said this.
In front of all.
But this means nothing. Prophets! I will tell you a story. All the years of our happy life together, I couldn't bear to think of it. But I will tell you now and let you judge for yourself the truth of prophecies. When I was first married to Laius, I had a child, a boy. He was born with open eyes, and we stared at each other in amazement. 3 days I had him. That was all. On the third day, a vile prophecy was delivered to us. Not from God, you understand. Just some old charlatan jingling charms. But it was enough to wreak havoc. This child I held in my arms would be his father's murderer, the prophet said. The utter horror of it. Laius believed him, panicked. He wrenched the baby from my breast and gave him over to the winter night to do its work. It was brute fear that killed that child. To trust that prophet was a terrible sin. No man can speak for the gods. No man can speak for the future. For all his lethal caution, some group of men he never knew butchered Laius at a crossroads. Fortune teller lie, and those who believe them are fools. His life flung away on the bare rocks of Cithron as the winter night howled his tiny bones to ice. When the nights are darkest, what I could not save him from. My unlucky stranger. My king, why do you shiver?
At a crossroads, you said?
That's where the murder happened, so they told me. The place where the three roads meet.
Oh, gods. This is all too clear. I have cursed myself.
What is the terror? Tell me, how does this story upset you?
Where is the man?
What man?
The one who survived, who couldn't speak, who saw it all.
The slave? He's off in the mountains. Shepherd, I think. He has to be released from the household. It seemed a small thing to grant after all he'd been through.
Could he be found?
Probably. He's not far from the city. No one has spoken to him in years, but we know where he is.
I must find him.
And so you will, but talk to me. Tell me what makes you shake. I've never seen you like this.
The terror courses through me again, the familiar fear.
Tell me, my love.
I will. Who better to tell than you at last? Perhaps it was a trivial incident. Perhaps I shouldn't have treated it as I did, but I am what I am. And I did what I did.
What happened?
I was at a banquet. It had reached that pitch in the evening when noise and chaos were overtaking the party. Someone I didn't know, a drunk, jeered that I wasn't the son of my own parents. Another man would have let it go, but it shook me. The next day, I went to my parents and told them of it, and they were shocked and outraged and told me to put it out of my head, but I couldn't. I left after dark, telling no one. I walked all night until I reached Apollo's shrine, and I asked the god, whose son am I? Silence. Silence. The god wouldn't speak to me. Priests tried to send me away. If the gods won't speak to you, it's not for you to know. But I wouldn't leave. Just waited for an answer. And at last it came. A keening, eerie cry. There in the dark, I heard it. Worse than anything I could have ever imagined. You will kill your father. You will breed with your lovers on a host of monsters. I ran in panic, ran across a wilderness I could not see, fleeing. I would never see my dear parents again. I would be in exile for the rest of my life. Feet bleeding with every step. I lived by the North Star until I came to a crossroads. And as I came to those crossroads, I saw a carriage barreling down toward me, the driver whipping his horses and cursing at me to give way, but I wouldn't. And then I saw the man sitting behind him, wielding a long pike. This he thrust at my head, his eyes flashing with malice as he struck at me, the blunt stake darting towards my eyes. I wrestled that pike from the old man's grip, and I swung it at him, and he toppled hard, falling into the dust, staring up, unblinking. Then I beat the driver to death with his own whip. Then I killed every single one of them. I was lit with rage, like a wildfire leaping up the dry brush of a mountainside, until I was left in silence once more. Oh, my queen, have I cursed myself? Have I murdered a king and, like a thief, rolled in my victim's bed, shared his wife, stole his kingdom, all to outrun a prophecy that has hung over my head all these good years? That at least I have evaded. Nothing could be worse. But Tiresias said, I'm a killer. She said, I'm the corruption.
Oh, but King, let us hear the shepherd. You remember, sir, there is some hope. Yes.
You're right. Till he comes, I can live on that hope.
Hope?
The only thing he remembered, the only fact he uttered was there was more than one killer. More than one.
He said that. That's true. You see, it will all come out all right. Calm your fears, my love. And as for prophecies, you know my mind on them. My dead king's killers prove it. My baby, dead for all these years, proves it.
Call the shepherd. I will not rest easy until I look him in the eye, hear it from his own mouth.
Yes, we'll send it once, but let's come inside. You must rest.
Gods, are you listening? Gods, are you there?
Is there nothing higher than us?
Is there no law greater than what we can cobble together with our own human hands?
Is there no shining order, no light of divine reason?
Are we alone in the shimmering silence?
Is there nothing eternal?
Is there nothing here that will not die?
Where are we to seek the truth if not in you?
If nothing is sacred, why tell the story? Why sing? Why dance?
Without God, we are just beetles, scrambling mindless over rubble.
And the world of men, nothing but tyrants and fools, shaking their sticks or rattling their chains from pointless birth to pointless death.
Nothing matters if all we thought true has only been a lie.
The ground is strewn with blood and bodies, and there is nothing but heat in the vault of the sky.
God, I am unused to calling for you, but an old grief has surfaced from the waves of memory, where I buried it so long ago, and guilt surfaces with it. My love is useless. As fate rumbles towards me, bearing down. Good news! All will be well. Where is King Odysseus? I speak to his wife and the birth of his children. Blessings on you, Queen, and your house. That is kind. We are in need of them. And though there is some sting of what do you mean? King Polybus is dead. The throne belongs to Oedipus. My lady? Such a swift return for such a meager prayer. I thank you. I am out of my depths. Prophecies, prophecies, all of them as hollow as babies' rattles. My king, I am confirmed in my confident scorn. Listen to what this woman has to say. I bring you news, king, of bitter joy. King Polybus is dead. Yours is his vacant throne. Is it not as I told you? Look to your old hair and smile.
Yes, but wait. How did he die?
He was old, that's all.
And I never touched him. After all these years, it is all...
Senseless. Embrace the mad indifference of the world and rejoice. You are released from fear.
But that keening voice in the cavern of God still howls in my blood.
It's just noise, love.
But my mother, but the queen?
She lives and longs to see your face.
But that she cannot.
My king, don't you see? You can do your mother no harm. There is no truth to be found in these mutterings and useless oracles. The world is ruled by chance, nothing more. All you can trust is the present moment.
Yes, my queen, but my mother lives, and while she does, I just cannot risk it. The fear lives with her.
What fear, if I may ask, sir, and that lady?
An oracle. I was given the voice of God itself, that I would do my parents unspeakable harm.
Your parents, you say?
Yes. Polybus and Merope? Dearly as I loved them, I fled from them to protect them from their only son.
But, sir, if you'll permit me, you are not that. Never were.
What?
Whosever son you are, they are not your parents.
What do you mean?
You do not know. And to think I, of all people, should be the one to tell you. You were not born of them.
What do you mean? How can you know something I do not?
Because I was the one who gave you to them.
You? What are you saying?
It was on the thorny slopes of Cithron. I was a shepherd, you were a tiny baby, staring eyes. You'd been left there, such a cruel thing. I wrapped you in a lamb's pelt and went to the palace at dawn. There she was, walking the halls as she always did, tears streaking her lean, pale face. The gods want to give her a child. Poor dear. I entered the palace with this little bundle of you and held her out to you. I held her out to her and she looked at you and oh, the smile. It was the best thing I ever got to do in my life.
I was never their son.
It changed everything for me. I was indoors now wearing good smelling clothes. And when I'd see you running by me, flailing some toy sword, frowning with some imaginary story, I'd put a hand out and skim the top of your head. You never noticed. And smiled to think at what I had done.
But who am I then? What kind of mistake am I born from? Who left me there?
Oh, I don't know. But I know the man who might.
Who?
The man who found you.
I thought you found me.
No, I wasn't the one who saved you. I just delivered you. The one who saved you was another shepherd.
Who is this man? Where is this man?
He was one of Libus' slaves. I knew him from the mountains.
Does anyone know who this is?
Yes, King. There's only one man it could be.
Does he live?
Yes, King. In fact, I think he's a slave we've already sent for. The eyewitness to the murder. Is that so, Queen? You would know.
Jocasta? You must know. Why don't you answer me? Is this the man?
I don't know.
You know you must.
No.
I have to find him. Ask him.
Don't! Please, don't!
But I have to. He's the only one who can tell me who I am.
Why ask? Why know? Live without knowing. Promise me you'll look no further. Let it rest here.
How can I promise you that? Why would you ask me to? Is it that you'll fear what I'll find out?
Yes.
I see. You think I'll discover I'm some backstairs bastard? Well, of course I am. I must be. But why let that bother you? I'm still who I am. Your king. Your husband. It doesn't bother me. I feel better than I have in years. I'm free at last. Born to nothing, beholden to nothing. I'm my own man. I must find out what kind of miracle I am.
Never leave it in darkness.
That's not who I am. You know that. I will know the truth, whatever it is.
I beg this from love, for your own good.
My own good? Let me be the judge of that. No more darkness. Give me light. How could you think I would ever choose ignorance?
Ignorance was your only hope. My unlucky stranger. Goodbye. Again.
It is strange silence she leaves us in, like that stillness, the hush before a storm rushes in.
Let it come. Let the sky break to pieces and wash away the face of the world. I'm going in at last. The stranger? I will see his face at last. I have no fear of him. She's afraid of what I'll find there. Child of some slave. Child of some drunken nobody. I don't care. I know who gave birth to me. Chance and fortune. Luck and the roll of the dice. Those are my real parents. Always were. I will know the truth, whatever it is. I am not ashamed. Let the knowledge fall on me like a summer rain.
Yes, yes.
Let the storm break.
Let the secret of your birth
Thunder out of the silence.
Let it echo.
Let it echo
Let it echo across your mighty mountain
home.
home.
Across your mighty mountain home.
Let great Citharon ring with it.
Let the wide world sound with it.
We always knew this.
You were a child of mystery.
Your parents could be nothing mortal, nothing common.
The gods have had their hands on you from the first.
This is the man. I will ask you at last, did you serve King Lion?
Yes,
What was your work?
I drove the flocks to Mount Cithron.
Do you know this woman?
Which woman?
This one, right here. Did you ever see her there?
I couldn't say. My eyes are bad.
Look harder then. Take your time. Do you know her face?
It's been a long time, old friend. We were young people together, mingling our flocks. You remember.
Yes, I guess it's all so long ago.
We were great friends. And then there was that cold morning. I found you with the child.
Child?
Poor baby. You found him. You didn't know what to do with him. You were crying. I said, give him to me. I'll take care of him. And you did. You remembered.
Terrible secret. Why do you speak of it now?
Look, here he is. The baby survived. Grew up to become a king. Isn't that something?
Shut up, you idiot!
Yell at her, old man. What is wrong with you?
She's talking nonsense.
I am your king. You will say what I brought you here to tell me.
But I have nothing to tell you. Really, I'm nobody. I never saw anything.
You saw it all! You were there at every crossroads of my life. You will talk. You have no choice. Pin his arms.
God help me, why are you doing this to me?
Did you give her that child?
Yes, I wish I'd died that day.
Where did you get the child? Did someone give it to you?
It was from the house.
Was it
This house.
Was it some slaves, maybe? Was it someone who worked here who gave it to you?
I can't say.
You can and you will!
He was of this house, born here.
Who?
His.
But whose?
King.
The king's?
Lion. He was the king's only son. I couldn't do it. They said he was cursed, fated to murder his own father. Said that I must kill him. They mutilated him, pierced his ankles, then strung them through and bound them to keep him from crawling. Someone said it'll be faster that way. They kept saying, we're trusting you to do what's right. Take him up there and leave him. Don't come back until you've done it. I took him into the night. It was so cold. I held him close to my chest, tried to keep him warm there. He didn't even cry. I couldn't see, stumbling as I climbed up into the dark until I got to the top. I knew what I was supposed to do, just put him down and go back. But I couldn't do it. His eyes looked up. trusting me. I couldn't put him down. And then the shepherd came. I gave him to her. She said she'd take him down the other side of a mountain, another country. Let him live. Anything would be better, I thought. So empty-handed, I went back down the mountain, back to the palace, and I thought, I will never see him again, but he will live.
But you did see me again.
Yes. At the crossroads. You were killing me. But I was saved by some strange mercy to return to my city and look upon my new king.
Oh, light! Oh, light! I can see too much! Oh, I was so against state of life! Enough! No more! Where is darkness? Let it swallow me!
1, 2, 3! 3, 2, 3, 1, 4. What is this thing?
What is this thing? Child
Of nothingness.
Child of chance.
Creature, animal, naked to the air. It shivers in the darkness of our world.
It knows too little.
It knows too much.
It does not know why it was saved.
But it knows it will die.
It doesn't know why it lives.
It knows it will die.
Tell stories of the dark.
Making things up.
Muttering in the darkness. The story of happiness.
The story of fame. The story of heroes.
Making gestures through the air.
Makes promises.
It thinks. It thinks.
It thinks it has done something. It thinks it can be safe.
It thinks. It thinks.
It thinks it can be happy.
It thinks something of it will last.
Listen to it muttering, telling stories in the dark.
What is this thing?
What is this thing?
This cursed and holy thing.
This holy accursed thing.
Anything that can be suffered, it suffers.
Oedipus! Oedipus! Oh, we have loved you. And when we loved you, we loved ourselves.
How we have praised.
And when we praised you, we praised ourselves. No man has done more to us.
No man so envied.
And now, we wish we'd never seen you. You gave us the light. Now you plunge the world into darkness.
The queen is dead.
The queen is dead.
The queen is dead.
The king.
The king.
The king.
Your eyes!
Your eyes! What made you do that?
Nothing. No one. My own hands, they chose this. The blind need blindness. It was right. I made scene. I can feel it on my face. You, the one who saw me, the only one who ever did, who saved me for this. Thank you. You're the only one who can do this. Lead me to the mountain again, but this time, leave me there. Leave the cursed creature there. You promised.
This is obscene. No one should look on this.
My brother Moon, forgive this broken monster. Let me go.
It's not for you to say. Not for me to say. You belong to the gods now. We will ask them what to do with you.
The gods have already spoken. Drive him out.
Do not seek to command. The time is gone, Oedipus. You are no longer a king. But you are now. No one can say.
I beg you, save your city. Banish me and live.
Fate is something I cannot determine. I will not touch it. You will wait. Go inside.
No, 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 please. Exile is all I can bear.
Lord, take pity, let him go.
All right. Yes. Sightless. Leave our sight, Oedipus. Never return.